Well, good evening and welcome to the Go Tafe Goulburn Valley Football Show. What a week we've got for you this week. It promises to be an absolute beauty. A lot of Cheerios to get out there. We interview a new boy on the block, old McDonald from McDonald's Farm. Wait do you meet him, and more importantly, wait do you meet his lovely partner, Celeste, John. Wasn't she a lovely girl?
First time, David, I've been on the show, I reckon you fell in love again.
Yes, and Guy, you didn't get the opportunity to meet Celeste, but actually Celeste, the real meaning of the word Celeste is heavenly body. That's the female equivalent of Celeste, and the male component of heavenly body and macho man is David. And I bet it's no surprise to you at all, but on my left, Guy Morford, how are you, my boy?
Good, Foxy, how are you?
Good as gold.
Had a good week in footy.
My word.
And a good week for you too, John, by the look of things.
Very interesting.
Johnny, how's it been?
Yeah, it's been very good, Foxy.
Johnny, some friends of yours are up on holidays and the kids?
No, from Queensland and Mackay.
Well,
they sit down and watch the show every week, Foxy.
Okay.
And Cooper, Nixon and Dempsey. Cooper celebrated his 18th birthday, I'm told. The dad's name, guess what the dad's name is? Wonderful, famous name.
John.
JR.
No.
His name is JR.
No, it wouldn't be JR.
It is JR, and his wife is named Robin, and they're from Mackay in Queensland.
Yeah.
Robin.
Well, good on you, Fido and Robin. We hope you're enjoying the show that's coming up your way.
Anyway, they watch the show, and we just thought we'd send them a Cheerio now. My second Cheerio, David, is I got a telegram guy through the week from a man in Seymour.
Oh, what's happened?
He was in the Seymour supermarket last week. This bloke walks in, one brown shoe, one black shoe.
Oh, what?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Who was it?
I'm not pointing.
Oh.
Now, David, can you explain to the viewers what happened there?
Well, down the bottom of my wardrobe, where I live in the Mediterranean of the northeast, two slip-on shoes. I've got one is a black pair, one's a white pair. Well, I was in a tad of a hurry, as one can be on occasions, and I put the wrong St. Louis on. And I went to see the doctor, went and saw my beautiful wife in Euroa, and then I came home and I got back, sat back in the chair, put my feet up on the footstool and looked down and said, oh, Jesus, I've been walking around town with a brown one on.
How do you not realise when you go to the shops you haven't got two different colour shoes on?
Because I don't look at my feet, I just look straight ahead as I am now.
Well, John, you wouldn't believe it because somebody sent them in through the week.
They sent them in?
And here they are. The black and the brown.
Have a look at that. Isn't that very nice?
How could you get that mucked up?
I'll tell you what, a lot of thought's gone into that.
Now,
you know when I call them the one white bulb brothers, have a look for white.
Now, John, what we're going to.
Yes.
I've had a call through the week from my good friends at Penguin Books, and they want to make a book about it. So, David, here we've got three options. Hold them up.
Okay, I can't see these.
Book one, Forgetful Mr. Fox.
Hey, I like it.
Book two, Mr. Fox Goes to the Shops.
That's better.
And book three, The Story of the Fox and the Colourblind Man.
Oh,
you are an
There'd
idiot.
be a lot of girls all over the world getting that last shot and putting on freeze free. You think I'm a little bit rattled?
Yeah, it's good. We've saved that for a couple of weeks.
Where did you not go when you went to have a bit of a... When you went to urinate, did you not see on...
Oh, well, that's not a topic I think we should bring up on the footy show.
Well, you can't see past it to see down.
You can't get over the veranda.
Well, if we were in trouble a month ago, I can tell you what, we're in serious trouble now. But anyway, have you two finished, have you?
Oh,
thank you very much. Congratulations. And this time next Wednesday, when I'm making the show on my own with the new crew, I'm really looking forward to it. Now, got a couple of Cheerios, some friends of ours in England, William and Kate. G'day, William. Kate, I hope you're going well this evening. And
G'day, Will.
Of course, Barack and Michelle are watching it back there in the States. They
Michelle really likes it.
Never miss us, absolutely miss us, and we hope you're enjoying it. But things happen, Johnny, in this football competition that I don't want to go on about, but everyone teases me about my... we didn't go to the 21st with
the love shot
with number 24.
Yes.
I think he's got a new person in his life.
Oh no.
And you'll see the photo now. I have been white. He's a semi-redhead. His old man was a redhead. But just have a look at this photo of Caden Antonovitz and the backdooring BJ Squires. Well, if you're as hurt as I am, John, you can understand what those two boys have got to do is just wear your pants a little bit tighter.
What do you think he sees in him that he doesn't see in you? Fair bit of looks.
Well, I've got the six-pack. I've got the,
You got that all right.
I've got the Cato tat on the Warwick farm.
He's got a keg, not a six-pack.
That's exactly right. So to those two boys, hope you had a ripper night, and it looks like you did. Talking of things to celebrate this weekend, in good news in football from the Rochester football, you're going to talk about the Rochester game later on. Someone up there is playing his 200th game.
He is, yeah. Nick Knight, boys, playing his 200th game. He's a good ripper fella night. He's been a long servant for Rochester. Great bloke, great player, and they're people that I'm sure every club has, but they're people that you want in your club. So good on you, Knight. All the best.
Yeah, he's probably having his best year, I reckon, off the half-back flank.
He probably is.
Plays a very good running off roll off that half-back flank. And to you, Nick, all the very best, and hope everything goes well for you. And we'll be up there this weekend to watch you.
Can hardly wait, mate. Live membership.
Benalla and Rochi, Foxy and myself will be up there to look at that game.
Yeah, well done, Nick, because you're one of the people that, one of the fantastic things about the Rochester Football Club, and it certainly is, John, they keep their own, and he's been there 200 senior games of football. Fantastic achievement, as I said, qualifies him for life membership of the Rochester Football Club. That within itself is great.
Can you run the qualifying over me again? Or was it a qualifier? It was a qualifier.
It's the last time you have vinegar on your chips, John. Now, more importantly, and moving right along, before we get into the scoreboard and who kicked and who won and who lost, Guy Morfitt, the mailbag.
Oh, okay.
Let's just have a look at some very interesting reading from the mailbag this week.
Good mailbag this week, Johnny.
No.
It is a great mailbag. This letter is from our big friend Quinton Thompson at Mansfield. Quinton isn't payback.
The beach whale's got on board, has he?
Isn't payback a bitch?
Yeah, correct.
Anyway, Morph, I would like to respond to last week's misrepresentation of Simon and myself. With a background as a firefighter, Foxy should have known not to play with fire, John.
It's correct.
I have attached an image of the great man at a recent meeting of the weightlifters that have stopped lifting weights society. As you can see, manscaping is not on high on Foxy's agenda, and we hope he can start bench pressing again soon. Love the show and the banter even more. We await the next instalment.
Now, have we got a particular copy of that? Has Haig been forwarded a copy of that?
It's all taken care of. Thank you very much.
Well, there you go. That might tell you what, Quentin. You just come near me one more time, big fella, and bang, right in that mandible.
Now,
that's jawbone for you, country folk.
While we're there, Quint,
go.
If you got Mansfield's best players and goal kickers, which we keep a record of every week, could you send them down to Foxy for me? Because there was no goal kickers and best players last week in the paper.
Oh, well, no, I'll tell you what, Quinton, one of the fantastic personalities in the competition.
It's a great bloke.
And
great
so Simon Darling, don't worry about that. And I think it captured them beautifully.
Media release 2, boys, just for the mailbag, I was handed this by our operations manager. The GVFL are going to bring in, or looking at bringing in, Masters football in Shepparton. So if anyone's interested in playing Masters football, if you get to the age that the two next to me are and can't unfortunately run around in the Golden Valley Senior League anymore, have a go at Masters football. It's a good initiative. Monday the 3rd of August is the date to be there at the Kyabram Knights Cricket Rooms from 6 p.m, and you can go down and find out what it's all about and register your interest. I think it's a good initiative for us.
I think the great man Chops Lambourne's got a fair bit to do with that, actually, and fantastic player in his own right, premiership player, Morrison medalist, you know it, he's been there. I think he was on the Sydney Swans list.
Yeah, I've seen a few of these games, and don't worry, they still think they're fair dinkum, these boys. They have a crack at it, don't worry about that.
And you're exactly right, and good luck to any of those fellows that want to have Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday off the following week. You go out and play your Masters and then ring the redhead. I'll tell you how good it is.
So, David, we're going to speak about our wonderful interview through the week.
Yeah, we did. We certainly shall, and we'll probably get into that now. During the week, Shane McDonald is one of the players that's come into this competition, and he's a wonderful fellow. We got Shane in earlier.
I wasn't talking about Shane.
Who are you talking about?
Celeste.
Oh, right. No, hang on just a minute. But we got, we talk about blokes that are batting above their average.
Hey,
I'll tell you right now.
Did you see that photo of me with...
Mate,
that
just hang on just a minute. What I'll show you is this right now. And Celeste has obviously got a golden heart and was looking after one of, you'd call him the geriatric of the town. If you see this photo here, have a look at Celeste. Isn't she a beautiful girl? Well, batting above his average guy, for sure.
Would have thought. I'm not going to comment too much, though. He's a big boy, John. I reckon he'd have the better of both, all three of us here.
About me,
No, not at all, John. You are ugly, but she's a lovely girl. But first off, what we're going to do is I interviewed Shane, terrific fellow,
Grandpa.
and you can have a listen to what Shane had to say about his time in the GoTAFE Goulburn Valley Football League. Shane, the number 4 Guernsey, you've set the competition alight this year. You're a powerhouse kicker. Who taught you how to kick a footy?
That would definitely be my old man.
Yep.
A lot of time in the backyard and making me kicking me left and right whenever I can, and just a lot of hours out the back with him.
All the important ingredients that a footballer needs, I see them in you, and that is namely, you're very hard to knock off your feet. Is that another instruction from your old man?
Definitely. As soon as you go to ground, you're out of the contest, I guess. So that's one thing I've always had a bit of core strength and always try to keep my feet whenever I can.
On the old scale, are you familiar with feet and inches? What are you weighing on the old scale? And
weighing in at 84 kilos and I'm 175 centimetres.
Okay, well that's Latin for built like a brick dunny. Let me tell you that right now, because you certainly notice when you go out on the field, there's 2 boys that stick out when they're out from a Rudin. I mean, we see Daniel Lewis with the Michael Bolton look-alike hairdo. You know, he's claimed to fame back. Can play the game, Louis, big Louis. There's no doubt about that. But yourself and Ryan Thompson built to play the game.
Tomo's definitely hard at it, and he's got a good physique for footy, definitely.
Now you're coming off what was a bad loss. I reckon 2 weeks in a row you've had 2 shockers. You're still a chance to play finals footy. How do you think you can turn it around, mate?
I think it definitely comes down to getting some positive vibes through the group. Like, we're just down in the dumps at the moment. Obviously, it's well documented that we've lost 4 games by 10 points or under.
Yep.
And they're going to come back and hurt us. But it's just getting the boys back up now. They're pretty flat. Obviously, Seymour last week was definitely a pretty bad loss for us and cut the boys pretty deep. And then yesterday, it's just hard. It's just hard trying to get through this rough patch, I guess.
Now, we've seen a lot of players your size, your ilk, have come into the competition, been here for 12 months, and then we don't see them again. Will we see Shane McDonald next season?
Yeah, I'd say, I reckon I'm a big chance to be at Maroop next year, yeah, definitely. I've got some good relationships there with Blake and Simon Russell and Marksy and a few of them boys, Louis. It's just a great club to be around. They've been really good to me, Hawley and Blake and everyone there. So I reckon I'll be a big chance to stay in there.
Now, Shane, what do you do for Crust? Because it's got to complement your football. You must be, to keep yourself in the physical nick that you're in, you must work physically, do you, I guess?
Yeah, I'm a glazier by trade. Just work with a guy from Bomb Beach Footy Club, my old football club, and I've been there 9 years, so definitely keeps you nice and fit, I guess.
Now, you're recently engaged. I guess you're probably going to ask us after the shows after today what you want JR and I to sing for you at the wedding. Have you made up your mind on that?
A special appearance with the boys.
Oh, we can do that, don't worry about that. AFL-wise, who do you follow?
West Coast man, actually.
Oh, yeah, well, that's interesting. Now, let's start talking about the 3-wheeler. I don't want to talk about the Eagles, but I like it. Now, you just got engaged to Celeste, a lovely girl.
Yeah, she's a good girl. Once I spoke to her about doing the move up here last year, she was right behind me, and obviously being at my previous club for 10 years, and it was a big thing in my life to change a football club, and she was right behind me and being there, supporting me with the drives, with just with everyone being there on match day. I think she's only missed 1 game the whole time this year. So.
That is a fantastic, because I'm telling you right now, 115 years ago when my wife was a young and attractive girl, and it seems that long ago, she played a major role in the way that I went about my footy and approach to footy. If you've got a good girl behind it, makes a big difference.
It does, yeah, and she's very supportive, and I'm pretty lucky to have her around, actually.
What about your direct family? Mum, dad, brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I've got 2 sisters. I'm the oldest and another brother. I've had my little brother, he's on board, he's got a Maroop in the top, and he yells out from the boundary. He loves country footy. He's been down a few times this year. Brought my old man down against Echuca. It's a bit far for him to drive, so he just gets on the live streaming and watches you boys on the local footy show, so I no doubt he'll be on board next week. So,
what's your little brother's name?
My little brother's name's Ash, actually. He's about...
G'day Ash, how are you, mate? It's Foxy here. I'd introduce you to JR, but he'd scare the skin off a dying dog, JR, so you just You get up here, Ash, you take it over to the redhead, mate. Look forward to meeting you. He'll be all right. Now, tell us a little bit about, you said you got a pretty close relationship with Blake Campbell. Blake was one of the most balanced footballers of his size in the competition. When you're having those quiet moments we all had as a player on a football field, what does Blake have to say to you?
Oh, not too much. I vaguely remember when Blake was trying to get me into footy club, me and Celeste come down to the football club and was walking through the rooms, and it was just showing me, you got to be pretty good to get up there on the honour board, and I'm like, oh, three best and fairest, that's a good effort.
Cost his old man a fortune.
But and then I asked a couple of Simon Russell I stayed with, and he goes, no, that was Brad Campbell, not Blake.
Yeah, that's exactly right. No, two quality boys, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, no, he's a good fella, Blake, and one of the main reasons to come down to the football club.
Now, mate, we wanted you in the interleague squad this year. You made that you're in the squad and you got unavailable. What happened there?
Well, I had a mate's Bucks party on that weekend sort of organised around me and a few boys from my old football club.
Yeah.
But so that sort of fell on that weekend. I told Trav pretty much round 1 or 2 that I would be unavailable. But I've every year I've been down in Mornings Peninsula. I've put my hand out to play unless I've been injured or something like that. I love playing representative footy, and obviously if I'm around next year, I'd hopefully put my hand up to play in the GB side next year.
We'd love to see you on board because you're a very good player at club level. I reckon at interleague level, this man here would tear him to pieces. I've got no doubt of that whatsoever. Now, Marupna, you're going to regroup this week. You've got to take it one step at a time. How disappointed was the results? How did the players feel after the game yesterday?
They were pretty flat, but it's been like that for the last month. It's sort of, we've tried a few things with Blake going defensive the last couple of weeks and trying to snap out of it. I think we just need to get that one win and get the boys back on track. And I know it's hard probably to make finals now with Seymour getting up over Rochester yesterday. Mm-hmm. But we've got a Chuka this week, which is not going to be an easy game. If we can get over them, then obviously have a crack at Benalla at home, and then just see how we go against the Shep sides on the way home.
Now, you've had a run around at the highest level, Shane. How do you find the level of the Gold Valley Footy League?
Well, look, I heard a lot about it before I come up here, and obviously playing against Golden Valley a couple of times when I was a bit younger in the rep sides and that, and there's obviously some good players floating around, and obviously it's good footy. I didn't really know what to expect, but it's been great with everyone supporting it, like supporters, crowds. Obviously, you guys doing a footy show, it's just been a massive eye-opener and something I've always wanted to do, and I'm pretty happy to have chosen my opener and be a part of the Golden Valley.
Now, we're going to be very humble here, Shane. You know you're on the top footy show in the world. Right, yeah. I'm going to be a great thrill for it to have that bad melon of yours. He's got the cap on this morning, I'm telling you right now. It's a shock and it's gone when the cap comes off.
Got to follow the coach.
Yeah, don't worry about that now. John Ryan's pointing in the background there saying he's talking about his head. Have a look at yours, but we won't go up that avenue. But look, mate, we want to get you back next year. I think the whole of Marupna would be really excited that Shane's going to stick around for another season with the Pussycats. And you're only, I think, probably, I reckon you've got a great centre-half forward. I reckon your midfield's really, really good. And James Marks has been good for you the last couple of weeks. I really like Thompson as a player. I reckon you've got some good back-end players. You've got some great kids if you can keep them. Young Dean Smith is a player that comes to mind. But you're fairly solid all over the ground. One or two more, if you've got any mates down there, down Bond Beach way, that can come up here. I'm sure the club would only be too happy to talk to them. But Shane, thanks for your time to come in this morning. Really do appreciate it. You're a great bloke, great player, lovely girl, and I hope things all go well for you. And look forward to meeting you, Ash, and we'll see you next time around.
No, thanks.
Good on you, mate. That's Shane McDonald there. He is a super player, and you can see him in the number 4 Guernsey at the Cattery. Well, there you go. You can see from that point on that Shane is a really approachable bloke, gave up his time to come here especially. Now, what we did do at the conclusion of the interview, John, is that Celeste was a lovely girl and very, very shy, but recently engaged. And for the first time ever, I asked a young lady to come into the office and we would talk to her about Shane and her love of football. So without any further ado, here is the beautiful Celeste. For those of you that play cricket in the Goulburn Valley region, every now and then you can see a bloke who bats above his average. Now let me introduce to you Celeste, who is the fiancée of Shane McDonald. Celeste, how are you?
Good, thank you.
You're what my mother used to call in my early days a giggling Gertie. Tell us a bit about Shane.
He's just an absolute legend, really. And I don't think he's shy to say that.
He's not sort of not too shy, but he's a little bit shyer than Ryan Thompson.
Ryan Thompson's out there.
Would he be the world champion, Ryan?
I think so.
Doesn't mind getting on Facebook?
No. The first time I met him actually was one of the practice matches, and he was wearing a pair of bright orange Speedos or something. Hey everybody.
Yeah, well, I hope it was warm weather because I know his affliction if it's cold.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll get ourselves in trouble for that. But lovely to meet you, Celeste, and you're a great girl, and you're as shy as and as nervous as, but he's a great man, and we wish you all the best for the future with Knucklehead.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. There you go, Johnny, and
terrific people.
That was one of the we've done a lot of interviews, and I don't call upon young ladies to come in and but she spoke. Obviously, you know, she's crazy about and got to be short-sighted. In every category, so there's got to be a vision impairment.
Oh, till she seen me and she thought,
no,
I've struck something nice.
How would it be if we had bought Kid Bullet?
She said, take your son home.
She would have thought you were a grandpa.
Yeah, truly a fantastic couple. And
but I will say this, David, they gave up their time because we did that Sunday morning. That interview. Instead of driving straight back to Melbourne or where, that part of Melbourne where they came from, they hung around till 11 o'clock, did the interview and went home. So that just shows you the sort of people they are. So to Celeste and Shane, thank you very much for that, and we much appreciate it.
And not like so many other people in this town, they have booked us for the wedding, and we're going to sing our own rendition of "I Must Have Been a Beautiful Baby."
Yeah, correct. That is it.
But anyway,
been a few weddings we have sort of got the Kyabram.
Yeah, quite a few. Well, Michelle and Barack didn't have us, and we put the gauntlet out there. And how many? Mario's been married 514 times, and how many have you been to?
To weddings.
But anyway, Mario's going to kill me when he sees that bit. But anyway, moving right along, let's tell you what happened last weekend. Euroa 36 points too strong for United. That's a good solid win for Euroa, and they needed it. Seymour in a thriller over Rochester stopped Rochester's run. Rochester till Saturday had been undefeated. In a low-scoring, tough physical affair, it was Seymour who got the Chockies by 2. Shepparton, too good for Tatura. In a gallant Tatura, I might say, by 15 points. The Swans over Mansfield. A danger game for the Swans, but they just showed they're playing the right sort of footy at the right time. They won by 19. Kyabram, not Kyabram. Kyabram played Marupna. And they were big winners over Marupna. Very disappointing Marupna by 43 points. And Benalla, just travelling along nicely, were 68-point winners over, I might say, the very much improved Echuca. So a good solid win to the Saints. It sees our ladder like this, and it'll be up for debate shortly. Will the final 6 alter? On top, on 48 points, Rochester. Then Benalla, Kyabram, and the Swans are all on 36. Euroa are on 34. And Seymour on 32. Now, outside the 4 on 24 points, which is 8 points away from Seymour, Marupna, Mansfield, United, Echuca, Shepparton and Tatura yet to have a win. It sees our leading goal kickers like this. Josh Mellington's on 69.
Remember that day you said the centre squircle?
Yeah, I do actually. It was a centre squircle, but it was a new innovation for football because it was a square and the circle balled into one. It was
Get that super glue out of your teeth.
It was, yeah, that's exactly right. And shut up.
Sniffing that glue again.
Josh Mellington is on 69. Harry Madden 59. Billy Burson on 49. Steve Strubant is on 41. So there you go. So a great weekend of footy. Getting very, very close to the final series now. I'm not going to say squircle, no matter how many times I try not to.
Glad we got all that out.
Yeah. But for the biggest game of the season is on this weekend, and we're all going to cross-talk about it as we started off. But Rochester, well, they have travelled beautifully. They had to have a hiccup, and they had it last week, but only 2 points, and I don't think that would break their heart. And Benalla started off sluggishly, but they appear to have got their act together too, John. I understand, a little bit told me that both sides have been affected by injury, so this game is at Benalla. Should be an absolute beauty. I will tell you that it's the 1FM broadcast game, but it promises everything. And is it the prelude to the grand final? I don't know. Guy, what do you think?
I would have thought so. I was actually a little bit surprised about Rochi losing, boys. That's a gallant effort for Seymour to go up there and win. It's going to be a great game. It's two of the best sides. I think it will be a preview to the grand final, David, like you said. Last time they played, boys, 34-point winners Rochester were, and it's just going to be such a tight game. Benalla, Johnny won their last 6.
Yep.
So they're travelling all right at the moment.
Benalla going really well. I think 2 big outs for the Rochester side. Heath Aiken, who's been really, really good from the Chris Sanders, or Saunders, I should say, at centre half forward. I think Chris Saunders is a very, very underrated player. But I think you'll find Benalla got 2 big outs too, boys. 2 big outs. Yep. One could be very serious, one could be a few weeks. But
Who are they?
2 very, very good players from the Benalla side, which I can't say anything about at this stage.
Okay.
But they will have 2 good players out. But look,
just on that though, Johnny, but Rochester have had 21 players in their best for the year, so they seem to be able to pick up the holes where they lose players.
Yeah. Well, look, and if you look at both sides, Benalla now are number 1 in attack and number 1 in defence, so that's really good against. And Rochester, of course, number 2 in defence and number 2 in attack. And they've had 19 goal kickers, Benalla, and Rochester have had 20 goal kickers, Foxy, for the year. So, but look, I think where it's going to be is some of the matchups. Josh Mellington, I think Leddell will get first crack at him. I really do. They've got to shut him down. He's kicked 38 goals in the last 5 weeks.
Yep.
Mellington
69 for the season.
69 for the season. Flaherty, I think he'll go to Wolf. Foxy, I would think. Look, he's a big, strong player, Jordan Wolf, and I think Flaherty is that sort of player. He's either going to go to Mellington or Wolf. He has to go to they're the 2 key forwards from him, along with Warnock, even though he plays in a different role. But I think the interesting part and where the game is going to be won is through the middle. You've got Williams, Bright, Anderson. Daniel Anderson has been in terrific form. Ash Watson, I think he'd have to be probably close to favourite. Him and Will Martinello would still be the 2 favourites of the medal. Ash Watson has kicked 11 goals this year. He's been really, really good. From Nathan McCarty, does he go to Luke Mornan, Sammy Brennan, Josh Marchbank, just those sort of matchups. But James and Will Martinello in the middle are huge players for Metro.
Who's your matchup for Mellington?
I was just about to say, do you want to say?
No. Who's your matchup for Mellington?
For Josh Mellington?
Yeah.
Look, he's sort of hard, Mellington, because he's quite nimble, and he's not 6'3", so he's actually quite a hard matchup. Probably the coach would have first crack at him. I'd even give somebody like Nick Knight a go on him. Nick Knight's very good at shutting players down, boys.
Yeah, with Nick Knight and on the Benalla ground, his run off the half back is crucial.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, he carries the ball from the half back flank across to the half forward flank, so he turns into an 80-metre player.
Tomorrow, I think on the big turnaround for Benalla, why they are where they are, is the form of the coach in Luke Morgan and Mellington. I reckon they're the 2 catalysts for where they are at this stage. I know we talk about the Martinellis and the Martins and the like, and we do, but it would appear to me that Morgan is their barometer.
Oh, look, I have no doubt. Luke Morgan, when Luke's playing really, really well, which he has probably in the last 3 or 4 weeks, he seems to turn the side around. If you look at Ash Watson and Will Martinello, they're probably 1 and 2 favourites, along with Shane McDonald for the medal. Will's been in the best 11 times. Ash Watson's been in the best 10 times for Rochi. So those 2 alone through the midfield is going to be. It'll be interesting to see if they do a shut-down job on Ash Watson, which I would think they'd try and do.
If they go to shut down Watson, who's going to do it? I've seen a lot of sides try to shut down Watson. It's almost, to my way of thinking, mission impossible. Who'll get the first
Well, I'll tell you, the bloke who's out with his knee at the moment, he would have done it. Who did his knee in the interleague game?
Paul Pratt.
Paul Pratt. Yeah. He would have done it.
Yeah.
Look, at the moment,
he's back.
Is he?
Yeah, he's back in.
Played last week.
Right.
Yeah.
Reserves or seniors?
Seniors.
Okay. Well, he'd be the man. He would be the one I'd throw at him, because he's got that little bit of, he'll get into you and have a crack at you, and he's very happy to go physical. I actually don't know if that affects Watson though. I'll play a little bit of footy against Watson. He's a smart player.
Oh, very good player.
You can do what you like to him, and he'll just see the footy and go and get it.
Guy, what are they going to do about the dominance? I mean, you can say he's playing at half back, but Lachlan Smith dominates from that position. What are they going to do to try and counter that?
He does, and I reckon they should leave him there too. That's my opinion. Lockie Smith is a back player every day of the week.
Yeah.
Look, I just think what you've got to do with Lockie Smith for start, I know this sounds very basic, but everyone knows Lockie Smith's a beautiful left footer. So for starters, you've got to start on that side of his body, don't you? So whenever he gets a footy, you don't want to let him be swinging around onto his left foot for starters. It just comes down to accountability. So for your forwards, they must be accountable. When the ball turns over, bang, you are manning up.
The biggest thing with Lockie Smith, and you hit it on the head, you've got to make Lockie Smith accountable to his man.
Yep.
So when the ball's coming forward, if it's Brody Green, Elliot Bowen, or whoever plays on him, they must go to him, because Lockie Smith will zone off. he zones off and he zones off very well. But if his man starts to get the ball, hold of the ball, then he's going to have to play accountable football. You've got Perry that's kicked 14, you've got Cuttress that's kicked 23, Struban's kicked 37. So, you know, and then you've got Elliot Bowen's kicked 18. So their forward line is pretty dominant.
You'd want to try and drag him 5 metres out of the square, I reckon.
Johnny, I reckon Marchbank and Nick Warnock they'll change in the ruck. I think. I think.
Well, they're playing him a different role,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Well, I think they'll stay on the ground, or I'm hoping they stay on the ground. Sammy Brennan. How's Sammy going to have a breather against those two blokes? Who's going to be the release man for Sammy?
Yeah, look, whether they throw Elliot Bowen there for 10 minutes or 5 minutes of each quarter, Sammy Brennan's a bloke that can run on the ball all day.
Yeah, I realise that.
I've seen him do it, and I've seen him do it time and time again. Sammy Brennan is a very, very good player, and I have no doubt he can do that. But for a pinch hit, there's blokes like. There's a coach. You've got Elliot Bowen. They've got all different blokes. I reckon they can still use in that role. But the thing this time when they go in to this game, they'll have 7 new players into this side, Benalla, from last time. At least 7 players. And Rochi will just go in maybe 1 or 2 because the other 2 boys are out. And they've still got, they've got Ryan Colbert, they've got Nick Mellington, they've got James Dalton, who's starting to get a kick in the twos, which is good to see, James. Really good. You've got James Martin, who's still out of that side.
Priest.
Priest is the unknown.
No, Farron, he played last week. Yeah. He played in the seniors last week.
I realise that, yeah.
But look, it's just going to be it's going to be an absolutely cracking game of football. Cracking.
Round the centre, Guy. Will Martinello and Watson will feature. There is absolutely no doubt about that. Both these sides, to my way of thinking, and Johnny, you can have an opinion in a minute, but I think these are 2 genuine sides that will just show each other complete respect, and they will go out and play football with the mindset of taking each other on. What are Rochi going to do about Martinello? Because Martinello's up around 35, 40 a game. What are they going to do to counter that?
Yeah, I mean, look, Will Martinello is a superstar, has the best set of hands in the comp and the quickest set of hands in close. That Will Martinello is the most damaging when he's about half a metre away and just fires out handballs. I don't know. I'm not a big believer in... You've got the 2 best teams in the competition. I'm not a big believer in just running tags against each other all day.
I don't think they will.
You've got Watson and Martinello. Let them go head-to-head and see who comes out on top. But I just love seeing footy when you got 4 good gun midfielders who can just go head-to-head with each other. Let them go and play footy.
Yeah, I think Daniel Anderson or Nathan McCarty could get a job there on those 2. But if you have a look at both sides, the biggest wins for the year, Rochi's biggest win was 71 points against TAP and 70 points against Mansfield, and Benalla, their biggest win was 93 points against the Bulldogs and 81 against the Tatura. So, that's why they're number 1 in both areas, Benalla. But look, cracking game of footy. Can't wait for it.
There's plenty to get through. Who's going to win it, Guy?
I think home ground advantage, Benalla will win it, boys.
Johnny?
I think it's going to be a real close game, and I think it'll be a draw.
I knew you were going to say that. I honestly think that I think Flattery first off will go to Mellington. That's one thing I will say for sure. That'll be the only direct match-up you could see because of the way these 2 sides play. I reckon the tussle between Lockie Smith and Elliot Bowen will be a beauty. Someone's going to have to be accountable for Stephen Struban up forward. Both these sides are great sides. Rochi deserve to be favourites because they've only had 1 hiccup for the whole year. So I'll stick with the Tigers this time around.
Yeah, look, I'd probably go for Benalla, but I think the 2 big outs for Benalla, I think that could hurt them this weekend.
Okay. Moving right along, Guy, tell us about Seymour and Kyabram.
Seymour just got the job done, boys, as we said, by 2 points, and questioned their consistency 3 or 4 weeks ago on the show, and I just think they're coming good at the right time of the year here, John, at the moment. Jason Cole, another best on ground performance by all reports. Be interesting to see some good matchups here too this week. I think Cole and possibly Atkins in the centre could be a good duel. Meredith, if Sherman plays on the wing, it'd be good to see Meredith run alongside Sherman out there. And the battle of the rucks, Johnny, Grenfell and Smith, it's going to be a good duel. Grenfell last week, by all reports, was good as well. And I said to her last week on the show, he's probably a bit of a toiler. I think he's a bit better than that, actually. And you were right in correcting me there, Foxy. But he's, he's...
The boy he's coming up against, Sam Smith, this kid has got something special. He's a 19-year-old. And last week, Foxy in the ruck, he was number 19. Yeah, he is a very, very good kid. If they can get a few games, Kyabram, they've got to keep this kid because this kid could be anything as a player. He's a very good player, very good player.
Paul Scallon's been sensational, been playing a lot of his footy off a half-back flank this year, and Look, he's been really good. Hugh Robinson, most likely he'd probably get the job on Burston. Would you think, JR?
Look, he's taken everyone else this year, and he's just had a magnificent year, yeah, for sure.
So that's going to be a good matchup, Cole. But Bongetti, I think Bongetti's injected a fair bit of fire back for Seymour. I just think since he's come back into the side, it's given him options. It's given a bit more of an excitement factor, and obviously Sard, we know about his ability and what he can do. Over to Kyabram, beat Marootna by 43 points, which is a good effort. Spoke about blokes like Atkins, Sherman, Smith, and Vic. Burston, he needs to keep stepping up and kicking goals. If he's not kicking 3 or 4 goals a game, Kyabram struggle. Nicky Colstock, possibly Colbert might go to him. Jason Morgan, I think, would get the job on Bongetti.
I think so.
I have no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Morgan's just a fantastic player. Sammy Sheldon's been sensational. Throw into that mix as well Liam Ogden and Tom Sheldon. And, Kai, they're going okay. It's 3 versus 6 on the ladder this game. This is a massive game for both sides. What worries me, Foxy, a little bit about Seymour is they're 1,017 points for at the moment, but they're 1,059 against. It's nearly the highest in the competition for getting points kicked against them.
Well, they've had 260 more points kicked against them than Kai.
Yeah, and in fairness to them, they've had a few outlets.
But I'll tell you one.
Correct. I'm not saying it to be unfair, but I'm just saying that whilst they're winning games, they're also
very unfair.
They're also getting points kicked against them.
I thought the bloke last week that turned the quarter and was good to see him back in the midfield was Liam Ogden. Had 35 possessions last week, best on the ground.
By a mile.
So Kai got to learn from that. Put this kid in the mid because I reckon they lack leg speed in the midfield, and Leon giving them that. But if you look at Seymour in the last 4 games, boys. They beat Kai by 2 points. This is how they know how to win tight ones. So if it's going to be tight, they'll win. They beat Kai by 2 points. They beat Tatura by 10, Marootna by 6, and Rochester by 2. Now that's their last 4 games, Foxy.
That's pretty good.
It's a good effort.
Who's going to win it?
I'm going for Seymour.
I'm going for Seymour at home.
Well, I think the Bombers will bounce back, so I'll go for Kai. Now, Johnny, this is a big game.
Oh yes.
The Swannies take on Euroa at Memorial Oval.
All up to me, Dave, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, well, we remember this is only a few weeks ago. This is where obviously our draws got to change, but the second half...
It is.
Yes, it is. And in the second half last time, of course, the Swans kicked 8 goals 3 to Euroa's 1 goal 6. And if you have a look at the first half, well, it was 1 goal 11 to 8 goals 2. So it was a reversal. And, of course, the Swans got up by 6 points, and then Tonovich kicked 5 that day, and Justin Madden didn't play. The Swannies, well, they're in terrific form. They won their last 5 games, and if you look at Euroa, they won 3 out of their last 5 games. So the Swannies at the moment are going on. Madden back into the side, boys. It just really stiffens them up down forward, and I think just a duel. We said this last time when they played him and Tarrant going head to head. It'll be really worth going to have a look at. Puku against Mitch Bell, Squires. Well, I had Anchors in here, and I don't think he'll play this week for the Euroa. Couldn't get him out there. Gilliland in the midfield. But look, if you go through players like Quade Johnson, I reckon Quade Johnson's probably having as good a year as he's had for a long time. Quade Johnson, Andrew Ridden, we know how good he is. Foxy's love child, Caden Antonovich, 32 goals. He had a good year.
Shouldn't be saying that because you're embarrassing the young fella.
He
doesn't need it.
Yeah. Anyway,
he's a good player.
And he couldn't be your love child. But look, he's a good player. He's having a very, very good year. I tell you, another player's having a good year for him is Paul Fry. Whether he's forward and going through the midfield, he's a hard nut and he plays the game really well. It's really pleasing to see Michael Tinkler. He's had a few injuries this year, Michael, and just off his half-back flank, he's a very, very steady player. Tyson Sidebottom, boys, found a bit of form last week. He's been down, Tyson, but he's just starting to come good. BOG last week for him. As we said, Madden with his 58 goals. But you go across to Euroa, Gilliland with 21 goals. Ben Barker, gee, what a year he's had this play. He's been terrific off the back line from him. Cunningham, since they've moved him forward, has kicked 24 goals for him for the year. He's been terrific. Bell, Trotter, Horsburgh has been good. And then down 4, you've got Gleeson has kicked 26, Patton has kicked 20, and Bamford has also kicked 15 goals. Look, an interesting game. I think Euroa, I think they've got a few injuries. The Swannies, they tell me a little bit sore. But I'm going to go for Swans to win this one, boys.
Guy?
Look, Euroa for me at home. They have to win.
Yeah, they're a must-win.
Yep.
A lot of sides this week can go from 2nd to 5th.
The Swans forward line, you can't get it. There's very few handballs received. Number 29 is running down from the back pocket, half-back.
Chappie.
I didn't want to say his name.
Yeah.
Number 29. Kevin Bartlett wore 29, Johnny. We brought that up before. And he just doesn't know how to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Josh,
you're giving him a inferior complex now.
That's right. So anyway, I think it'll be a great game of footy.
It'll be a great game of footy.
But I will say this. When the Swans got them last time, that is what turned the Swans around, and I think they'll get them again.
That's one of the best turnarounds I've ever seen in the game of footy.
Yeah.
And, Best he's been reappointed for a couple more years and he's doing a wonderful job there, Bestie. You keep it up. Even though this fellow, he's canned you a bit, I'll stick up for you, mate.
Never done it, Bestie, and you know that. Anyway, Echuca take on Mooroopna, and I have to tell you, what a case of heartbreak Hotel Mooroopna are. I don't know what Blake Campbell can do from here. They've got some terrific players on. We spoke to Shane McDonald a little bit earlier. McDonald was well held last week by his own standards, and probably the most quiet game I've seen Daniel Lewis play since I followed him in the competition.
To give credit to Brady Giles too, he did a wonderful job.
I thought if you had have just let me finish on, John. This is all I ask. Just let me finish on.
I was just about to say, I'm not going in there.
If you just let me finish on. But anyway, Kane Atkinson, skipper extraordinaire, tried really hard, and I thought James Marks was fantastic.
He was good
last week and tried hard all day. And the other boy who was my best on the ground whilst I was there was the young man on the wing, young Dean Smith. Played very, he's a great kid. Echuca, well, personally, I don't think Echuca can be too disappointed with the year thus far. You know, they're realists there. They know exactly where they are. Last week, they lost to Benalla by 68 points. Mooroopna lost to Kai by 43. They've still got the nucleus of a really good side. Matt Pollock is having a great year. Scotty Beattie, Simon Buckley. Magna Bosco's been a steady player. Jordan Florence and Liam Wilkinson and Lockie Collins are goal kickers up forward. They've got a lot of lesser lights that contribute to just exactly where they are, and I'm talking to boys like Buckley, and Buckley's a great player, and his brother goes good. I think it's going to be a real good game of footy. They've got him up there, and I can tell you right now, Mooroopna lost me a bit last week, so I am going to go for the Murray Bombers.
Does it worry you? They've won 2 out of their last 8 games. Does that, from Mooroopna, that's worrying.
Yeah, my word it is.
Yeah. For a side that, I think if they're a side, if they don't make the 6, they'd be my biggest disappointment for the year.
Well, can they make the 6 at the moment, John?
No.
They still can, but mathematically they still can. But they've got a hard run home, and they're going to have to start playing better than what they're playing. Simple as that.
Guy, tell us about Mansfield and Shepparton.
Mansfield lost to the Swannies by 19 points. I think there'd be probably some few disappointed people there. That was over at Swansea, to give them credit. And look, Mansfield have got a fair few out at the moment. Their biggest key at the moment out is their ruckman, Jones. He is... Yep. He just straightens Mansfield up like you would not believe. And he talk about underrated players. Big Benny Jones. Mark Jones, Ben Jones from Euroa. He is underrated. Sheehan, look, good match up there with Nick Allen if that occurs. Burberry and Hiscock would be another one to watch. Holland, I don't think Jones is going to play, but Ash Holland, another really good ruckman for Shep. Nick Gray played last week for Mansfield boys. That was interesting. Fagan, Plostons and Gavalis, and the Hind boys over there are good for them as well. Shepparton, look, good win for Shep. It was well deserved. Beat Tatura by 15 points. They were coming back pretty hard though. I think Bulldogs. Shep kicked 1 goal in the last quarter and sort of steamed home with 4. So that's something they'll need to address. Lyndon, Seb Walsh is a good player. Sangster and Willis is great as well. If Mansfield have any chance of playing finals football, they must win this game this week. I think they will, and. I think with their draw coming home, Mansfield, they've got a few games that they really need to set themselves up with a good win here. And I know a few people saying, Mansfield are done, they're not going to play finals. Well,
they're still there.
We'll wait and see.
There's a kid at Shepparton playing real good footy, boys, a kid by the name of Mitchell Brett.
Yep.
This bloke's going along very, very nicely. He's got under the radar from a lot of clubs, but he is playing very good football, this young fella. He really is.
Yeah, well, I think Mansfield will get it.
Yeah, look, I think it'll be a lot closer. I think like a Shep and a Echuca in these sides, they're not far off the mark. They only need a few, and they're going to be any side. Yeah, and don't worry, in this game here, there could be a little upset here.
Okie dokie, Johnny, the last game of the round is between United and Tatura.
Yeah, look, the Bulldogs last week obviously came home well, kicked 4 or 5 goals in the last quarter against Shepparton. trying to think of who they played, and they went down by 15 points. A big fella, Paul Kirby, they told me last week, played really good football. Kirby's got 15. Billy Lovell's had an interesting year. He's been in Tatura's best players 10 times, boys. So Billy's had a really good
only kicked 14 goals. That's interesting.
Yeah, but I think he's playing a bit through the midfield.
Yeah.
He's playing all different roles.
Good player, John.
Yeah, he's a good player, Billy Lovell. Got a big tank on him. Jamison Daniels through the midfield. Young Matty Cornwall. Now, this is a kid. Keep a bit of an eye on this young bloke. I reckon he goes all right. This kid, the games I've seen him, off the wing, he's got a good motor, and he just starts running around. And Tommy Miller, it's good to see young Tommy Miller back. Foxy playing footy. He's been out. He's had a bad year with injuries, but United. You'd have to say at this stage United have been disappointing. I expected United to make the six. Calaro's been all right. Matty Rendina plays well every week.
Yeah, he's a solid player.
Solid player that plays well every week. Curry, Neves and the ruck, he's been in their best 11 times. DeBella. Timmy Luby, I just think Timmy's playing with injuries. He just doesn't seem to be himself. I've watched him a couple of times this year, and he just seems to be a little bit stiff in the leg. Their last 6 games, they've had 2 draws and 4 losses. That's heartbreaking for United. On their way to the 6, you put that 6 wins, well, that puts them way up there, doesn't it? And especially with Eden with the 2 draws. It was 50 points last time. I don't think it'll be 50 points this time. I think the Bulldogs have just got a little bit of a snip. And obviously finishing off last week like they did against Shepparton, I think they're half a chance, but maybe United just.
Guy?
Yeah, I agree, John. It'll be a close game. But Timmy Luby is playing injured. I watched him last week. He came off at the second half, and he probably would have sore shoulders because he's carrying a few blokes in that side, Timmy Luby does, I reckon, and he does it week in and week out, and no wonder he's sore. But blokes like Matty Rendina and fellas like that, if you had blokes like that in your side, well, you'd be a happy man. If you could emulate blokes like that, it'd be good. It'll be a close game, and I think Tatura could be a chance of beating them.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Tommy Miller, he's a Rolls Royce in the garage. Tommy Miller, he can really play the game, John.
Oh, yeah.
You got some beauties here, Billy Lovell, Jamison Daniels.
The Bulldogs
Jaden
are out
Thurman.
for next year, Foxy.
Hey?
The Bulldogs are going for next year.
Yeah, I know, because someone told me they found the combination to the safe at J.R. Ryan. Very well.
There's a lot of cash in there.
I'm going to go for a tap in and upset. Well, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. I'd like to thank Quinton Thompson. I'll catch up with you, Quinton.
Get on your cue.
We've got a very good interview for next week too, David.
Yes, we have. And who would that be, Johnny?
James Flaherty, coach of Rochester.
That's exactly right. We're going up to meet with James on Saturday. Very much looking forward to that. So until then, Guy, well done tonight, young fellow. And to you, John, thank you very much.
Thank you, young fellow.
And keep checking your shoes.
And I'll have a look at your shoes next time round. Until next week, this is yours truly saying bye-bye for now.